What's good, you guys? It's your boy Tacosallday. I got my friend, as always,
Kami.
and I got two guests occurring for the second time, and a good one who's never been here before,
Odin.
Felix.
And we got a pretty quick one for you today. Going to talk about why is it so hard to open up.
So, I had thought of this honestly while watching an anime called Anohana. I'd recommend y'all watch that anime. Now, anyways, it occurred to me that it was based off real life incidents, not exactly, but in a analogy kind of way. You know what I mean? Like, it was so hard for somebody to open up and say, "Hey, I love you," that somebody ultimately ended up dying, which led to so many more people having years and now I want to say a decade worth of regret kind of stored and built up,
Yep.
which changed them entirely as a person. And I can just recall to times that people have opened up to me about certain regrets that they've had, and I was just like, dang, you could have just said something, and it would have costed you possibly a couple of hours of oh man, but I just it all that was really odd to me. So my main question for Taco and our guest here is like what's up, like why do y'all believe this, why are feelings so strong yet they can keep you so silent, but they're so powerful.
So
Let me ask you, can
go
I
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
interject? So, Kami, let me understand. So there was some regrets because someone died. So someone died, and that person or someone, you or whomever, didn't get a chance to tell the person who passed how you felt about that person, correct?
Yes, and that was based on the anime I had watched, which
Oh, anime. Okay.
which has
okay.
sparked which has sparked this thought, and
Right.
I've been it's been simmering in my head since we finished the anime I think last week.
Yeah.
Well, can I understand? I need more details. So, what type of relationship was that anime program based on? Was it monogamous relationship between
No.
a man and a woman?
No.
It doesn't matter, a man and a man, whatever. Or was it a mother and a child? What type of relationship was that?
So there's multiple interlocking relationships. They're all kids, 5 and 6 years old, and they were just they're kids having fun, living their life. It's a slice of life anime, so it's based on a realistic timetable of life. Like, let's say
Okay.
we're 10 years old, 7 years old, and something happens a couple of years later. We grow up and we say, "Remember when that happened?" Kind of like that.
So you were friends.
They were all friends.
Okay.
One of them, they pretty much try to find out how one felt towards the other, because kids like each other. I like you, you like me, kind of thing. When they try to find out what happened, one of them ran off instead of saying what they really felt. The other one, that was supposed to be the recipient of what they were feeling, ran after. Without finding out what happened, that person ended up dying.
Okay.
So everyone else holds resentment and regret for, was it my fault that this happened? Was it his fault that this happened? And then 10 years later, as teenagers, they finally get back together and try to, reconcile what happened. That's what it was.
Okay. So that's why I wanted to know what was the relationship of the main characters. But if they're friends, which meaning platonic at this point, right? Platonic friends
At the beginning.
At the
correct?
beginning.
at the
Yeah.
beginning, because it's different. It's a different relationship when it's a mother and child.
Mhm.
Because I freely say I love you to my sons and my kids.
Oh yeah.
So that's an easy thing, but not necessarily for everybody, because not everybody, as parents, those with children, even if they're guardians or what have you, doesn't necessarily mean that they can easily and readily say I love you. So it depends on the relationship and the people, actually. So that's why I wanted to know what type of relationship the people that you were talking about had
Okay.
or
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so mine was based off of my question. It was based off that, but it made me recall an experience, nobody ended up dying. However, now that I am, 26 years of age, people have come to me talking about, back in the day when I was in middle school, 6th grade, and I'm just getting there, and one thing led to another, and I said how I felt, okay, about the whole situation, and this girl didn't feel the same way. So then, after she didn't feel the same way, I was like, okay, that's fine. Okay, now granted, did it take some time to get over? Yes, it does. Everybody has to deal with rejection, and on the flip side, people have to deal with rejecting. That's what something we don't just talk about, but it's like I was always taught, like I said in my last videos with Taco. My village is 90% women. I was raised by 90% women. I go home and say, hey, Mom, I feel bad because of this person doesn't like me the way I like them. Well, I had the privilege of talking with somebody who had already went through that experience. So she was able to, kind of ease me through the whole situation, and I got to heal a lot faster than most people. However, at that time, I also found out in the background was 2 other people had felt the same way I felt towards this girl, right?
Wow, she must have been very popular.
Right. And then, yeah, probably so. But then, check it out. They came to me literally maybe less than a half a year ago, talking about that exact situation and saying, man, I wish I had did this, that, and the third. And ever since then, I had made this decision based off of, my regret. And now they got 3 kids that they don't want by 3 different women.
But that's a whole other story.
But see, that's
a whole other story.
Yeah, I'm saying based on feelings.
But let me go back. So you said something that you approached this young lady and she did not reciprocate her feelings for you as you had for her. But then you had someone to go to. You went to your mom, and anybody, and other people may have different people that they can relate to and talk to and confide in and have that sounding board. You had your mom, which was a blessing. But some people don't have that. So when I had experiences that if I like somebody, not even just like somebody, if I wanted to befriend somebody, and I was rejected because I was bused to an integrated school, and I tried to just make a friend at 5 years old, similar the same age as the characters in your what is that comic that you was talking about?
The one that we just said,
what is that? Okay, that comic. So I was at the same age, so I was trying to make friends. I was trying to make friends with the 2 girls that I sat near. And what I got was, don't touch my friend Amy. Maureen said this. And here I am, twice as old as you are. But I still remember that from 5 years old because I was rejected. And unfortunately, I couldn't come home and talk to my mom because, for one, my mom worked all day, and we didn't have that type of relationship, nor with my elder siblings. I have 5 older siblings. I had no one to talk to, no one to confide in, no one to help me process that rejection. So even from a very early age, for one thing, I realized that what the hell is wrong with is my skin color different? What's going on with me? So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this, what's wrong with me, because I was rejected, and all I was doing is trying to be nice to someone. Not necessarily be in an intimate relationship with them, but just to have a cordial good morning, can I borrow your crayons? Hey, oh, you want to use my crayons? But I had no one to confide in, no one to process that with. And because of that early rejection, it helped, or it created it led to other types of relationships that I was possibly, so I'm not communicating properly, but
I can cut that all out until you make it.
Thank you.
So go ahead and think for a second.
So it shaped, that's the word.
There we go.
It shaped my future relationships. So if I didn't get the positive response that I felt that I should get in other relationships, regardless of what they were, it always reflected back to that one, I wasn't good enough. But at least you had someone to confide in. I had no one. I had no one to talk to. And I had that for a lot of years. So I could not process, what should I do? What should I not do? Was it me? And I wish I had somebody to say, girl, it was not you. It was them crazy chicks. And then maybe I would have felt better about myself and had better self-esteem and fostered better relationships. because I knew it wasn't me. It was just them being ugly and rude. But you're very fortunate because you had someone to talk to and you were able to process it and get over it and move on, and you not internalize it and not own it as if it was you. I owned it as if there was something wrong with me because I held it. So you're very lucky.
Yeah, that's true. I know with my experiences with dealing with emotions, growing up as a child, I didn't have my father there. So when it came to dealing with women, I really opened up, on an emotional level. I was, the sensitive dude. Still kind of sensitive now. I was cheated on, and when I was cheated on, it hurt. You know what I'm saying? I was able to cry out to her and everything, and then I had family telling me, "Oh man, just do the same." Uncles telling me, "Hey, get her back. Get her back. She's cool people though. She's cool people, so stay with her, but just get her back." You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Just get her back. You know what I'm saying? And dealing with that, hearing that, like, okay, maybe there was something wrong with me, and I need to do something different. Maybe I need to be more macho instead of being myself. So now I got to put a wall up on who I am and try to relate to, I guess, a worldly perspective of how to deal, or how men are taught to deal with these type of situations with women. And so now, from there and on, throughout my life, I am going, dealing with these women, and I'm cut card, I got no cut cards, I'm straight cutthroat, and now I'm treating them a certain way that I know I wouldn't want my daughter to be treated, for sure. And now, like, I'm married and dealing with these emotional issues of not being able to get close to my wife because there's a block, and I was afraid of mainly rejection and being hurt. So if I go through life with this, I don't care attitude, I don't care if she's gonna hurt me, I don't care about her feelings. I would play with the word "I love you" now, because it's like I don't want it to be serious anymore. Like the word "I love you," I played with it. Like, I would tell her "I love you" to see if she tell me she loved me back, even if I loved her or not, or I didn't want my feelings to be hurt. So it was really a struggle, dealing with that. And
you had to protect yourself.
Yeah, that's what I was doing, protecting myself. I was putting myself in this shell, and nobody could get close.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say I'm more in Tommy's field. I didn't have a whole village, but I did have my mom. So ever since I can remember, even before I could remember, I would always know that I always wanted to say "I like you" to these girls that I knew maybe not like me or not. I would get them gifts, little teddy bears, cards, candies, all this stuff, all the time, every year, every single class. Every time I saw one, I was like, "I like you," whether she liked me or not. She did that. That's cool. I always came back home to my mom. I told her that she gave me back my stuff and she didn't reciprocate my feelings, but I never had to like struggle alone because she was at least there to say, "You know what? That's okay."
And it's their loss.
Yes, because you showed your love, and if they don't want it, find somebody else that will accept it.
And he was around the same age. I remember when he was 5 years old, he was in kindergarten creating gifts and giving gifts. He wanted to go to the dollar store and buy jewelry. And so his dad went and got him some jewelry and a little gift bag. So he spent like $5, which was a lot of money. Because I think he used his own allowance.
Yep.
And he spent money on this little girl and got her all these little baubles.
Yep.
Took it to school. He came home. And I think she gave it away to somebody else. And so, but see, Taco was always open about his, I don't know how open, but he was open enough that he was able to come and talk to me about these situations. And not to mention, not just come to me, I was always inquisitive. I was always asking, so how did it go? What's going on? I think I was even helping you wrap it up.
Yeah.
I think we
You
were
took
wrapping
me,
up the
yeah,
gifts.
I remember you took me to the store. You told me how to wrap these up. You said this you'll like these because of the color, and I was like, all right, cool.
No,
I
your
like
dad
that.
took you. I
That,
remember
yeah, he did. He
your dad
did several times, but then you would also show me like the right way to go about it. Like when one time it was back in Virginia when I was in 5th grade, and I put these things in this girl's locker. I think you told me to do that. So that when she opened the locker, she would see the gift and a card and a teddy bear and everything else, and I'm just like, hey, that's smooth.
How did that work out?
It didn't work out, but I was cool because I got my stuff back and I gave it to somebody else the next year.
See?
That's cool. It's like
Yeah.
almost like, hey, I'm content with myself,
Right.
And I'm not gonna let this person and how they feel about me affect my emotions.
Exactly. Like I was always extremely sensitive. I'm completely opposite now of what I used to be, but I was extremely sensitive, and I was always crying, caring, and saying, "But this person, that person, this person." And at the end of the day, I was always open for anything, sharing my emotions, sharing my rejections. I actually somehow somewhere along the line took rejection as my mantra. That's cool. I'll take a rejection.
No, not necessarily.
That's what later on is what I did.
Wait, now maybe.
That's what I said, later on down the line. Not always.
Because it was very difficult for you to find trusting friends. So that's why I'm glad that you've had that opportunity to have trusting friends now. And we even, in Virginia as well, when we moved there, you didn't have trusting friends. And
No.
there were some kids around the corner that called you the N-word,
Yeah.
and I wanted to wring their freaking necks. But you was really insistent on being their friend, and you wanted to shop at Spencer's and wear all the black. That's when you really got into the black with the chains, and Daddy was having a
Spencer's, and
fit.
it was cool.
Your Spencer's,
Emo,
Hot Topic.
Hot
Hot Topic Hot Topic was
Hot
actually
Topic.
a legit store back in the day.
So
I remember that thing.
So he was really into the goth thing because that's what the kids in the community that he befriended were really into, the goth thing, but they really weren't his friends the way I would think a friend would be, to have your back. And not to mention, so eventually we threw him a party for the kids in the neighborhood, a bowling party. Actually, it was a get Dan some friends party. And so he still has some of those same acquaintances to this day in his friend circle, even though they're all over the country. Because I knew how important it was to have friends, because I never had any friends. I don't have any friends to this day. That anyone that I can call my friend. Like, you guys hang out, you call each other, you can fight each other, you want to do stuff together. I have nobody. Never had. I have my sons.
And your husband.
No, I don't have my husband. I have my sons. So I'm virtually alone outside of my kids. That's it. And but I've learned that. So again, I'm, still got that rejection, even for someone that I've spent more than 3 decades, almost 4 decades with. But I have my kids, and they've never rejected me. They never made me cry. I'm always concerned about, with all these other relationships, no matter where I've been, what I've done, is it me? I always ask, is it me? What am I doing? What am I doing? And so, because I don't have any cut cards either, but I'm never malicious or never unkind. I'll give you the shirt off my back. But you're not going to hurt me. You're not going to hurt me, because there's no reason to hurt me. I don't hurt other people. And so from that little girl, 5 years old, and being more than 5 decades on this earth, it's been a lot of pain. People feel that they can hurt my feelings or disregard me, and I will not accept that. I've learned that I don't need to have people in my life who don't treat me the way I would want to be treated.
I'm assuming not even assume, from what I've digested so far, the main reason why apparently feelings can be so strong as to shut you up and to keep you silent is rejection from somebody else. So I believe that's going to go back into one of my things is no matter what anybody else thinks of you, and I believe Taco knows exactly what I'm going to say.
Yep.
I love you some you, because I
Yes.
love me some me.
Yes. You're absolutely right.
So that's one thing. I mean, I had the question. I'm gonna happily say that it was answered, and it's a one-word answer is rejection. which we actually have a solution for, which we just heard you say it. Love you some me, because I love me some me. And I'm
Self-esteem.
yeah, I'm self-esteem. And I appreciate, you know what I mean, you guys sharing, opening up and sharing those stories. I learned some new things. And I just much appreciate it. So I think that's what I have.
But it takes time to get there.
It does. It's not easy. It's not immediate.
It takes time to absolutely
Yeah,
get there.
just like you said, it took you some time to realize I'm not going to get hurt from this no more because it's me or just pain, and that takes time.
It takes time.
We can't base ourselves off other people's thoughts and what people perceive us to be. That's why it's called self-esteem. Like for instance, if someone cheats on me, it's their fault. Yes, it's their fault, but it's still my responsibility for the happiness, because they can't come make me happy, and or they ever
Right.
even before they hurt me, they couldn't make me happy. Only I can make me happy.
Right.
Exactly.
When I
Right.
become complete, then I'll see what true happiness is.
That's it, and I think that's a great point to end it on. I hope you guys enjoyed. I want to thank my guests again.
Odin.
Felix.
And it's calm as usual.
And I'll see you guys in the next one. Much love and have a good one, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Gone. Oh, snaps. Oh.